3, 2, 1. We are live. Welcome to the Mixed Martial Arts podcast. I'm your host once again, as always. It's Ben Cohn. Joining me tonight, not today, but tonight because it's a Monday night. It's Alejandro, and Bilal is sleeping, I presume. Say hi, Alejandro.
Hello.
Alejandro wasn't there. Oh, sorry. Alejandro wasn't there for our preview. Alejandro wasn't there for our preview, and now Bilal's not here for our review. But I'm sure there's plenty to talk about because holy crap, that was a crazy good card. We saw 2 title defenses and a title change, and that's what I predicted, and so did Bilal, and I'm pretty sure you did as well.
Yeah.
Did you pick Max in the end, or you picked Volk?
No. I picked Volkanovski.
We've all been riding that Volkanovski train for a long time, haven't we?
Yeah, in fact, I think that. Do you remember when he fought Chad Mendes?
No, I forgot.
That fight. Yeah. We broke. No, but do you remember we broke that fight back then against Max?
Yeah.
And most of what we said kind of held up.
I mean, yeah, exactly. We'll get to his fight soon. We got to start with the. First of all, please buy some beef jerky from me. Ben's Beef Jerky. Follow us on Instagram at Ben's_Beef Jerky. Also, thank you for joining us. Thank you for following. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate all the support we always get from you all. Love you. Mwah, mwah, kisses. All right. UFC 245 main event. Kamaru Usman knocked out, TKO'd officially. Colby Covington in the 5th round. He beat the fuck out of Colby in that 5th round.
Yeah, I have controversial thoughts about this card. Some controversial thoughts.
What was controversial about saying he beat the fuck out of Colby?
No, that's not controversial. I saw the open score. I'm sorry, what was it? The global scoring.
I don't know what
global
Verdict
MMA. Is. Yeah, no, you should get on it because it's interesting. Because there's a bunch of people that are rating the rounds, and so you get a notion of where the mass of people watching the fight can sort of wisdom of the crowds type thing, and you can kind of see where they lean. And in some things I agree, and some I don't. But for example, I saw a lot of people giving this fight a lot of props to Colby and saying the fight was close, but I didn't think it was close at all. Like the rounds were close, but the fight wasn't. You know what I mean?
Listen. The way I look at it is very simply this: it was the first 2 rounds were definitely close rounds,
close-ish.
I would say. Listen, this was not 4-0 Kamaru. I don't agree with that.
It was.
I understand that.
That's a controversial part.
I don't necessarily agree because I think that you're as both of them landed very hard shots, and Kamaru, as much as he no-sold some of those shots, he was visibly wobbled by them.
But he was not more wobbled than Colby was.
I didn't say he was more, but I don't think Colby was more than him either. In some of those rounds, Colby wobbled Usman with shots more than Kamaru wobbled Colby. In the first round, for example, I scored that for Colby. That's just...
No, I didn't. I thought they were close rounds. I can see how people would say that he won the first 2 rounds, but I didn't see that. And I saw Kamaru just slowly inching away, and Colby just couldn't keep up. And you kind of see...
I mean, you can't make that argument when Colby arguably won the 4th round.
No. I don't agree.
I said arguably. I didn't say he did. I don't know why you automatically say no. There's no...
I don't agree. No, I agree that you can have it, and it is valid. That's why I say it's controversial.
I'm saying he was... You can't say he was he was starting to take the fight slowly more and more. When round 3, he got fucked up. And then round 4, he came back and arguably won the round. That's what I'm saying.
Usman got fucked up?
No, Colby got fucked up in round 3. He got outlanded 4-1. And then came back to land more strikes than Kamaru did in the next round.
No, but landing more strikes is not significant.
No, I understand. I'm saying... You're not listening. You're just repeating yourself. You said he was inching away slowly. Colby couldn't catch up, and then it slipped away. That's what you said.
Yeah.
In round 3, after the first 2 rounds, which were highly competitive and very close and arguably can go scored either way, round 3 was a blowout round. Is that?
Yes.
Round 4 was not a blowout round. In fact, it was a very close round again. Do you understand what I'm trying to say there? That Colby came back from potentially when the jaw was broken. I don't know if it was in round 3, but that's when they're claiming it was. After getting his jaw broken, arguably won round 4. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, all 3 judges scored round 4 for Colby. At least 2 of them did. And a very significant portion of the MMA fan base did as well. Like, I haven't seen any scores other than you, legitimately other than you, that have it 4-0 Kamaru going into round 5.
The global scorecard says that Colby won by 0.16.
No, I don't agree with Colby winning. Even if there's no argument that Colby. Listen, there's no argument that Colby won round 3, which means that at best Colby was up 3-1. If Colby was up 3-1,
I said round 4 because round 3 was clearly Usman.
That's what I said. At best, Colby was up 3-1. But I don't understand what's. At best, Colby won 1, 2, and 4.
Okay.
So round 5 would have been a 10-8, which means a draw.
Yeah.
That's the best argument. Even if you want to say bad stoppage, should have let it go to decision, fine, whatever. At best, you have a draw for Colby. There's no argument otherwise. So at best, you get a draw. Realistically, you wouldn't have because of the way the scorecards actually shook out. Only one judge had Colby ahead. One judge had it as a draw, as it had it 2-2. And the other one had it with Usman ahead. So regardless, one judge had it 39-37. The other judge had it 38-38. The other judge had it 39-37 Usman. So two judges would have scored. All the judges would have scored round 3, either a 10-9 or a 10-8. So Usman would have won regardless. So there's no argument for Colby winning a decision either.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of feel like people get away with like being misled with what the announcers are saying a lot of the time. Like even the global scorecards, like even if you apply the whole wisdom of crowds thing, yeah, you can see that in this fight and in the Aldo fight, particularly in the Aldo fight, you can see some collective delusion at play that is kind of strange, especially in the third round for Aldo and in some of these rounds for Colby. It's interesting that it kind of balances itself out in the end for Usman, even if you factor in the fact that you can give Colby the first 2 rounds, the total score factors balances itself for Usman. Like it's very interesting. Like I sent you a link. Like recommend.
I know. I saw it. No, I've heard of this before.
But yeah, like
I realize.
Yeah. Watch the Aldo one. Like it's not good.
Yeah, whatever.
Didn't you think that it was interesting how Colby was just unable to adjust to getting hit to the body?
No. Most MMA fighters have shown that they aren't able to do that, so it's not really surprising to me.
But the tool, like it's becoming a tool now, and a lot of fighters are sort of slowly making adjustments, and you would expect that at this level, like those adjustments would be there. But
I do not agree that you would expect that yet.
Yeah, this is the elite level.
And Colby is not an elite striker, so...
No, but he's an elite wrestler, and he didn't wrestle either.
Right, but so is Kamaru, and Kamaru didn't wrestle either, because I think Colby, I don't think either one wanted to find out who was the better wrestler. It looked like it at the end.
Yeah, like it looked like
I think Kamaru didn't want to wrestle because he apparently wanted to strike, and I think Colby didn't want to find out that he was the less effective MMA wrestler.
I just think he was being stubborn.
Kamaru or Colby?
No, Colby. Like his coaches specifically told him to start wrestling.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I don't think Colby thought he could win the wrestling exchanges.
I don't know, like he was taking, but he should have listened to his coaches because that would have given him.
That's a different argument entirely. But I don't think that to expect Colby Covington to suddenly develop really effective body punching defense when he's not a very good striker to begin with. I mean, like,
no, but he's okay.
I mean, no, his striking looked. You have to understand. You have to understand the context of them saying that. Elite strikers have shown lacking defense to body strikes. Colby Covington is not going to show it. You know, Colby Covington's not going to show it. Like, MMA body punching is such a novelty at high level MMA. Period. To expect effective defense against body punching at high level MMA from two wrestlers who are developing their striking games still, I think that's asking a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I don't see how you could say not. You constantly are the person who talks about in the context of MMA. Are you really going to make the argument that effective body punching, which is so rare, is something that most MMA fighters would have worked on their defense for? Seriously.
At some point they have to. But at some point they have to, and it has to start somewhere.
I don't understand you. I sometimes genuinely don't understand you. You're constantly the person who talks about, no, it has to be looked at in context. Okay, we're looking at this in context. MMA body punching is almost non-existent, so to expect that it's suddenly going to pop up from two non-striking based fighters in a title fight where one of them only busted out body punching after like round 2, like, I'm really struggling with you.
No. Wait. He followed his coach's instruction because they saw that it was working, yes? So
who are you talking to?
Usman. You mentioned Usman. He busted it up after he saw he was working.
Yeah. Okay, so he's not doing something he hasn't trained for. What you're saying is that these trainers are not teaching these people how to defend body punches? I didn't. One, no. Two, again, clearly, I'll give you a perfect example. Daniel Cormier has had a weakness to body punches, body strikes his entire career. What happened versus Stipe Miocic? High level MMA, the highest level of upper weight MMA, had no defense for body strikes, despite showing a historical weakness to body strikes. So
it has to happen sometime. That's my point.
So but again, when you spend significant amounts of time not respecting a specific thing or not training for it, you're not suddenly going to bust out like really good defense. Also, Colby's not even a good defensive fighter for his face.
No.
He's not going to bust out defense to his body.
Let me finish. Okay. I'm not saying that it's expected. I expected to see something.
What do you expect to see?
Him trying to manage range, for example, so that this shit wouldn't happen to him.
Colby Covington is not necessarily a good range management fighter. In fact, he's the opposite. He knows how to close space by literally barreling forward. He fought at whatever range Usman gave him. He's not going to bust out tools he doesn't have.
So that's my point. Like, so he's not training these things. That's what we're saying. Because again, I don't think you don't lack. If you're not training them, you're not going to have the tools. If you're training with them, then you should have some semblance of a tool set to work with. He's obviously not training those things because, again, fighters don't suddenly develop skills that in the cage. They have to work on them. No, but they need to develop them. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying...
Listen, to use some Jewish language, Yashar Koyach, of course they need to develop them. They need to do a lot of things. A lot of fighters need the defense of Jose Aldo that he's historically shown, but they don't display it because they don't work on it, or they're not nearly as athletically gifted, or whatever it might be. But the bottom line is that most fighters in MMA lack defense, period. Body shot defense is even rarer because it's such a rare thing to see at high-level MMA alone, let alone low-level MMA.
Even the reaction to it.
The reaction is to either flinch or throw punches or move away because they don't actually defend body shots. So, again, that's my point. Like, in the context of what we know about the MMA.
But look how you're arguing. I'm saying I expected to see something, and you are immediately take it all the way to you're expecting elite. Like,
what did you expect to see?
I'm not expecting elite.
He has no clue how to defend.
No, but that's kind of the whole problem. What I'm expecting to see again, a championship level fight. Okay, I'm expecting to see some kind of intent to adjust, even if it fails. But I expect to see it, right? I don't know, I not even be extremely successful at it, but I expect to see it. That's what I'm looking for, and I didn't see any of that. That's what I'm saying. Like it is interesting to me that I still don't see it, even after we have seen that at high level MMA, it is an offensive tool, body shots. You're saying it like. It's unheard of in the general, landscape of MMA, but at the high level, we're starting to see strikers using it more and more and more and more. And where you're engaging this guy who trains with a kickboxer, Ernesto Just, who is his head coach, and you see that you're going to engage him in a striking context, and you're going to just focus on this thing, and you're not even going to react. Like there was nothing. Like, do we agree that there was nothing there?
He didn't know what to do. That's why there was that's what I'm trying to.
No, I understand.
You don't know what to do. How are you supposed to react?
Well, that's a problem, isn't it?
But you're basically saying, well, the metagame of MMA has to evolve. Duh. These are statements that are just like, obviously, fighters need to give you better body strikes. Fighters need to get better at this. Fighters need to get better at this.
So but when do we expect to? I don't expect. What I'm saying is that so you don't expect anything to change until it does. Like spontaneously.
No, not spontaneously. As we see things.
You're not having it.
I'm explaining. As we see it more and more, the game will start to adjust. That's it. It's going to take time. That's it.
Oh, yes.
So what is so hard to understand about that? As time, it always goes like this. Hold on. It always goes like this. Offense develops first, then defense. Offense first, then defense. As fighters are going to start to utilize body punches, body strikes in general, develop better combination punching, develop this, develop that. We're going to see fighters start to adjust and work on their defense for it and train that. It's a slow process. So when you're saying, I expected to see some semblance of reaction, well, why? You have two fighters who are C+ level kickboxers at best, who are having a complete stand-up affair despite both of them being grapplers/wrestlers, and expecting when one of them suddenly starts busting out body punches significantly hard, good, well, sloppy, but good, as in effective body punches, and the other guy is both confused, surprised, and unsure of how to react. I'm not surprised by that. I wasn't surprised to see that Colby really didn't have an answer for the body shots. Why would that surprise me? He's a fucking wrestler. And he's a pressure fighter who wasn't able to fight while pressuring. He was being backed up the whole time, basically, or fighting in open space. And this is specifically what I said. I said if he tries to have an open space kickboxing match with Kamaru Usman, he will lose that fight because I saw him get basically lit up by Damian Maia. Like, there was no, this is what I'm saying. Like, the whole concept of like, can Colby win? Yeah, anybody could win. And we saw him kind of stagger. Well, it wasn't like it made Usman stop and maybe wobble a bit, but like, he was never going to win that fight. Kamaru has more power. He's just as durable, if not more durable in the end. Well, I don't know if he's more durable or he has more power. They're probably equal. They were probably equal in durability, but Kamaru just hits harder, so more damage. So, God, we spent so much time talking about the abstract. We didn't even talk about the actual things they did.
Let's just.
Yeah. So let's talk about the actual things they did. Colby did some nice things. He actually did some really good job landing when Kamaru was kind of like done. Do you know what I mean? Like when Kamaru would stop, and Colby wouldn't at times. But unfortunately, Colby would also get. Well, I say unfortunately, very fortunately, Colby was getting hit so hard that at points he could not return fire. Kamaru did a really good job with the jab. I think a much better job of using that jab than Colby did. The body punches were beautiful, as we mentioned. He was just wrecking Colby with those hooks and uppercuts to the body. A really nice front kick from Kamaru would to the body as well. He was kind of like digging right into the stomach as well. He definitely controlled the range both with his jab and his footwork. Colby really didn't could not pressure Kamaru backwards unless Kamaru decided to go back.
Yeah, he would stop him sometime like in place, but he could never force him back.
Yeah, well, he tried to with those he was kind of pulling like an Edson Barboza a bit, like where Kamaru would throw and Colby would throw 3-4 return to try and scare Usman off.
And he landed, like the story for the fight for me was during the second round, like the moment like that characterizes the fight for a lot of people is that straight right that sort of fucks up Covington's jaw, right?
I think that was in the second. It was in the second round, I believe.
Was in the second?
Sorry, third.
No, it wasn't the third. But for me, it was the second round because there's a moment where Usman comes in. I think it was with the left or something, and Covington sort of ducks under, hits a body shot, and then hits him with a right hook. As Usman is lifting his right foot, so he hits him clean both times, and he doesn't even move. Like Usman doesn't even move. He just keeps coming forward. And he got nothing done. Even though he landed really well, really clean, he got nothing done. And even though he could control like the pace of some exchanges after, like while Usman was on the recoil, he could never get anything like some headway, like some momentum. Like it never happened for him.
Yeah. And one of the things that needs to be pointed out is that Usman did a really good job of not letting Colby's pace really get too far away. So like
because he hits so damn hard.
That too. But also like at the most Colby had, like the first round was the one he threw 20, he threw 20 more strikes than Usman did. The whole fight he only threw 35 more strikes. So the pace with which Colby was operating at wasn't that elevated compared to Kamaru. And that's the problem, is that when your primary weapon
match that pace.
Right, when your pace is not only getting matched but also being slightly diminished by the reactions of the other fighter, and pace is one of your biggest and most important tools.
And he's attacking your pace too.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Pace too, like the slow attrition.
Yeah, you could see the damage growing. People are giving credit to Colby's toughness. I don't really give a shit. There are tough fighters just like him who aren't pieces of shit. We're going to move on from this fight, though. But credit to Kamaru Usman, first title defense. This, honestly, this is my hot take. This was a far less impressive striking display version of Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald, complete with fifth round TKO.
Well, you said it yourself, these guys are not strikers.
Correct. This was Lawler McDonald, but with two wrestlers striking.
Yeah. I mean,
fun, but I think people are like, this was an amazing fight, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it was a ton of fun.
It depends on where your expectations were. Like, at least Kamaru met my expectations on the stand-up.
No, that's not what I mean. Like, I'm not talking about like that.
No, I know what you mean. Like, you're making a comparative statement. Like,
I'm not comparing their skills. I'm not comparing their skills. No. I'm saying the actual fight reminded me of a sloppy kickboxing version of Lawler McDonald.
That's what I'm saying.
Tons of fun.
Yes, but not quite as high level.
Absolutely. And if I'm going to have to pick one of the two to watch, I'm picking Lawler McDonald.
Yeah, well, because there's more variety there.
Correct.
Like, we saw the same thing play over and over again in this one.
Pretty much. Although I could definitely watch the finish of the Usman Colby fight more than the Lawler.
Oh, but most everyone, even people that don't watch MMA, did you check the?
Some really annoying takes.
MAGA Joe.
Yeah,
the MAGA Joe.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, watch it like the MAGA Joe, like that. MAGAJAW.
Okay.
It was a hashtag. It was funny. Those were funny.
I'm sure. All right, let's talk about our boy, Volkanovski, dethroning Max Holloway and becoming the greatest featherweight of all time.
I also didn't think this fight was close at all.
This fight was absolutely close. I'm sorry. There is no, dude. You're way off on this one. I mean, you're way off on this one. The rounds 4 and 5 were very arguably for Max. In fact, round 4 was Max's. Look, I've been saying it forever. I'll say it again. Alexander Volkanovski was going to be the title holder, and I called it from the beginning. I've been on this train since fucking forever. All credit in the world. He is, without a doubt, coming from one of the best camps coming up. I mean, with Hooker and Adesanya and all those guys in New Zealand, they're doing a phenomenal job. Their game plans, the not variety, the versatility with which their fighters are clearly showing in the cage, the adaptability, they're phenomenal. Volkanovski came out with the almost perfect game plan and executed it nearly flawlessly. There were points where it was getting away from him, but he always managed to bring it back. The leg kicks, those quick punches as Max was coming in to offset the rhythm and land damaging strikes, the clinch to disrupt, obviously the takedowns to disrupt as well. He did not try to push Max back. He did not try to play outfighter only. They constantly were switching up the ranges at which they were engaging. He was never allowing Max to get a rhythm or up his volume to the point where it would start to overwhelm. In fact, there were more rounds where Volkanovski out-threw Max Holloway than the vice versa. Like, everything about that performance was just fucking amazing. Volkanovski's performances in the Aldo and Holloway fight are two, like, legitimately all-time great performances, in my opinion, in terms of, like, the smarts he displayed. There's just so much to talk about. Like, and he's honestly fighter of the year for me, because while the Mendes fight was December 30th of 2018, but I'm counting it, to beat Mendes, Aldo, and Holloway back to back to back.
How we beat them.
And how we beat them. Like, that's fucking crazy. He beat 3 of the top 5 greatest featherweights of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's pretty significant.
It's unreal. He's unreal. Yeah. You wanna gush about him a bit, and then we'll talk about the actual.
Yeah. To me, like, he was continually upsetting Max. Like, he would never let him settle into something. Like, he could never work behind his jab because he was getting his legs kicked all the time, and then when he managed to find some way into the pocket, he would just push him back. Like, he would counter, and when Max wanted to work at distance, he would just close it. And when things got dicey, he would push him against the cage and control him and sort of slow him down a little bit. And, Holloway started doing better in round 4 and 5, and those rounds were the closest for me. But, yeah, I still saw all the rounds for Volkanovski, and those were close rounds, especially the last 2. But he was always doing more, landing the harder shots, and always being in better positions at all times. Like, it wasn't like the rounds were, again, another instance where the rounds were close, but the fight wasn't. Like, Volkanovski was taking it, and by the end, it looked pretty well. Like, he looked pretty good. Like,
who?
Volkanovski. I mean, Holloway looked good. Like, he made adjustments for round 4 and 5, and I give
Holloway round 4. I scored a 4-1 personally, but yes, Holloway made adjustments, but
not enough.
It wasn't just not enough. It was too late. And B,
that's what I mean. Like,
it was too late, and Volkanovski was able to counter those adjustments
because he brought a massive bag of tricks. Like,
Volkanovski's God, he's so good.
Like, it should not be underestimated how intelligent this man is. Yeah. Like, he's okay. Like, I'm gonna say something like, he's not built to fight the way he fights. He's built to be Mike Perry. I mean, no offense to Mike Perry, but we know how he approaches fights. That's not Volkanovski. Like, he has that if he needs it, but he chooses a more cerebral approach and a more methodical approach, and he's so fucking patient and diligent and just so good at the unsexy things in fighting. Like, oh, I'm out of place.
I call them sexy as fuck.
No. He's good at the unsexy things in fighting. No, he's great at the sexy things in fighting, but he's just so good at those unsexy things. Like, I'm out of place. I'm gonna put myself in place. I'm gonna kick his leg, not necessarily to hurt him, but just to make sure he's out of place, so that he cannot throw his jab at me. Like those tiny little like adjustments that you need to make mid-fight. And he just brought this massive bag of tools. So while Holloway had to sort of adjust, and he adjusted to somewhat, like, he could never close that gap, because Volkanovski was adjusting, but at the same time he had this massive assortment of techniques that he just kept. I mean, this dude is a drilled striker. Like,
it's kind of nuts when you think about how he's kind of started his UFC run and his career period. Like, he went from a come forward, pressure fighting, grinding, wrestle kickboxer who would take you down, beat you up in the clinch, beat you up on the ground. Yeah, like this peekaboo style of wrestle boxing / kickboxing, where you'd come in behind these like high guard with his elbows pointed out and crouch, so you would and he would come from both sides with hooks. And now he's outstriking the two greatest strikers in featherweight history, outside from Conor, 2 of the 3.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy. That's legitimate.
That is testament to his camp, because they gave him like an amazing like model to work with. Like, in these circumstances you do this, in these circumstances you do that. Like, everything pre-made. There you go. And this dude took to it amazingly well.
Yeah.
Even his footwork.
His footwork was so good.
He's a glider now.
He's unreal. And here's the thing. Is it that it was now? Or is it that he's kind of been working on these things he's clearly been working on them for a really long time, and just didn't need them because he worked on his game. He has clearly been working towards a Max Holloway fight for a very long time.
Yes,
and it shows. That is the thing that always happens with dominant fighters. There's always somebody who's working towards beating them. Dominic Reyes, I think, is the one who's doing it for Jones. The question is whether it's too early in his career for it to happen. But
I think it is.
We'll see. I mean, this fight was so good. I mean, we kind of broke down. Realistically, if you want a basic breakdown of what happened in this fight, just go listen to our preview in the last episode. But we pretty much broke it down. All right, let's talk about Nunes GDR. There's not much to talk about.
Just let me know, because
it's not fun. The first round is fun because Nunes just beats the shit out of GDR on the ground. The rest of it is Nunes kind of gassing, and anytime they're on the feet, GDR lands a couple good strikes. Nunes takes her down. Doesn't really beat her up, just controls her. There was one up kick that kind of hurt Nunes a little, and a triangle attempt, and that was it. GDR had nothing for her. Nunes got 8 takedowns. Nunes is a really good MMA fighter, and GDR is a good striker, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's a really boring fight, honestly. Not boring, but not interesting in the slightest.
Yeah.
I don't
watch it.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to talk about Marais Aldo. We're going to. Because I'm sad that Aldo is doing this weight cut. He arguably won. Absolutely. He arguably won the fight. I don't think he did.
I don't think he won.
I don't either think he won. I said arguably. Why do you do that?
I don't know. It's like it comes from the heart. Like I hear something.
I'm not saying I agreed. I scored it from Raj. I'm saying
it's not for you. It's for everyone else who is misleading their hearts.
No, it is arguable. Like he landed some brutal. He landed
in
some
the
brutal
third round.
I'm not talking about in general.
Oh yeah, of course, first and second. But in the
third he landed some good shots. Also, again, listen,
2.
No.
3 at most.
Marius didn't really land too much in the third either, to be fair.
He landed 15 punches in the third round, Aldo. How many of these were significant? Like, not the significant strike that Fight Metric says, because...
No, I mean, I'd have to rewatch it, but he landed 15 strikes, yeah. Okay, again, let's talk about this. First of all, the problem I have is that Mirage fought a terrible fight. Like, he fought Aldo dumb as fuck and still pulled out the victory, which does not bode well for Aldo That's number one. Number two,
not at 135.
Not at 135. Number two, Moraes was clearly faster. So now Aldo lacks a speed advantage over some of his opponents, at least. He's still clearly very fast at 135. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Durability held up. Imagine if he had been doing this kind of preparation for a weight cut, but for 145, and then he did it, but for 155.
I know. I'm so mad.
We can dream.
He's going to keep fighting at 135 because Dana basically said he's willing to make a title fight between him and Cejudo.
No, well, there he is again. No.
So here's what's going to happen. Cejudo is going to knock out Jose Aldo.
Shut up. Well, okay, I like Cejudo, but no, I don't want to watch it. I'm just telling you,
that's going to happen.
You're hurting me, man. I don't want to watch this shit.
I don't know, man.
Why do people do this shit? Like,
I just want to reiterate. Aldo lost the fight to the dumbest possible game plan, Moraes, who also gassed. Like, I cannot express to you, like, Moraes is seriously got to take a look at his approach to fighting because that was terrible.
The best way that I could put it is that he won the fight that he could win, like considering the bad choices that he made earlier, and then the last round,
a fight he shouldn't have been able to win.
Yeah, but he could, and he edged it out.
I'm saying he should have. That's a fight that at 145 he gets creamed in.
No, he gets. Yes, because
145 Aldo would have murdered him.
Yeah, because he just kept. It's funny, like if Aldo had just thrown more punches, if only he had, but he didn't. But he was winning the positioning battle and the pressure battle and everything, but he wasn't throwing enough.
Yeah,
and he could have won that.
That fight impressed me, but
and he had extra cardio to boot. Like how the hell?
I don't know how Aldo looked totally fine cardio wise, and he had more output too.
Yeah,
but can we talk about something joyful? Peter Yan.
Oh, Peter Yan.
Oh man, that was great. Like
that is happiness. Like that fight is happiness for me.
For him, like that fight should have been stopped in the second round, but
no.
They were literally had nothing for Yan. He had nothing in the clinch. He had nothing in the on the feet. Jan's pressure, his boxing, his defense, everything was just building upon another. He always tests the fighter's defenses in round one, and then he went after it in round two, and then round three he just sealed it. The way he was able to finally land the knockdowns on the first knock on Faber, and from there it was just over. Like it was just a matter of time.
He did. Okay, like I'm not necessarily a big. I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna confess something. Uriah Faber annoys me, and it's not his fault. He just annoys me.
No, he's a kind of a ruthless businessman, and I don't really like him.
Yeah, but he has done nothing to me, right? And I don't know why, but even before I knew how he was, like in that aspect of his career, like he just annoyed me, and he continues to annoy me. And it was, I'm gonna say, and maybe this made me a bad man, but I enjoyed that he was smiling at Yan before he fucking dropped him with a 1-2.
Yeah, he's a savage, that's for sure.
And he can pack so much power in tight spaces. He doesn't give a fuck. Like he throw an elbow and he throws a kick. Like he doesn't have to be very far to try these things. Made you wonder what the fuck is the guy training?
It's amazing. I love that fight. There's not a lot to talk about. That was always going to be a wrecking, and now it's time to talk about another wrecking because Jeff Neal knocked Mike Perry the fuck out. I thought it would take longer because Mike Perry's so durable, but that head kick though, fuck!
Sheesh.
Perry had nothing for Neal. Legit.
Well, he couldn't get anything done. Like he was still settling, and Neal was working.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna do you a favor. Let you gush about Arena Dania a little bit.
Do me a favor. Wait, I can't hear you very well. What?
Gush about Irene Aldana a little bit. Enjoy.
Oh, wow. I get to gush about Irene Aldana? Oh, I meant to throw it in your face because you said she sucked. And you said that Ketlen Vieira was good. And to be fair, I had Vieira winning that. What?
I'd say she was good on the feet.
Yeah, no.
I thought Vieira would win by the ground, but I was surprised she looked on the feet compared to how she used to. No, I also surprised that Aldana finally decided to bust out the power she displayed before coming to the UFC.
No, but well, it's difficult. Like she's fighting different level of opposition, but honestly, like I thought, and not by a lot, but Vieira was doing well. Like she was winning. I thought she was winning the fight.
She was
up to the point she got fucking clocked, and you can see that
knockout she was winning.
Well, if that point doesn't, if that shot doesn't land, the problem is that Aldana was measuring that. It was like the fourth time she threw that particular attack, and she finally landed it. And Vieira never saw it coming. And for all the adjustments that she's made, and she clearly got better in striking, she still has a lot of ways to go. And Aldana, she won the fight. You know, like she was doing work. Like even though she was losing in the damage aspect of the fight, like you could see that she was making reads, she was adjusting, she was doing the things that you need to do if you want to hit someone with that particular punch, which she threw 4 times. But it's not going to be enough. If she gets a title shot, there's a lot of things that she needs to fix, and I don't know that she's going to get the chance to fix them, unless, you know, Hail Mary or something happens. But you could see that she was extremely out of place in a lot of positions.
Yeah.
And especially, well, she was after the fight, she said that she was very like she was expecting Vieira to shoot. She never did. So that sort of hampered her. But still, like when she lands that shot that puts Vieira down, you can see the way she lands is really not good. And if there's a counter coming her way after that, one of those, and there will be when she fights Amanda Nunes, that's a bad place to be.
Really not good. Okay, so speaking of that, she's probably going to get the title shot. If I had to guess, I'm going to look at the UFC rankings real quick.
But Amanda Nunes says she wants to fight at 145.
Who?
First. Amanda Nunes.
No, who's she going to fight at 145?
I have no fucking idea. That's what she said.
I know. I understand.
Yeah, but when fighters, but you need to sort of parse what they're saying. What they're saying is, I want to rest. That's usually what it means when they say, "Oh, I want to do this other thing or that other thing, or I want to take some time, or I don't know what I'm going to do." That's usually saying either I want to rest or I want to renegotiate the terms of my contract.
This is the top 5 at women's bantamweight. GDR number 1, Vieira is number 2, Aspen Ladd, Holly Holm, and Juliana Pena. Aldana's definitely going to be a top 5er now.
Yeah, she should be. Well, I don't know.
I'm not saying no. I'm saying that
Vieira was coming off a massive layoff too, though.
That's true. I don't know why she's even still ranked, but whatever.
Yeah, like look, UFC does weird things. She did beat Sarah.
Realistically, she's probably going to get the next title shot. If not, good.
Well, because they have nobody else that is marketable.
No, she shouldn't, but
she should fight Juliana Pena, in my opinion, or Aspen Ladd.
I think that fighting. If you want to watch Holly Holm get another title shot, she should fight Holly Holm.
Hey man, like she's fighting Raquel Pennington, and you know that if she beats Pennington, which I kind of doubt, honestly.
No, I'm actually thinking Holm. Pennington's really shot.
No, I don't think she's that shot, honestly.
Yeah, she is.
No, we'll see. But you know the UFC is just gonna start, betting that, like
I know.
getting that wrong.
I don't want to talk about it. All right, let's move on from that fucking depressing ass thought. quick shout out to Chase Hooper for that fun, weird, fucking lanky ass body. Just what the fuck with that Daniels Hammer fight? That was fun. Credit to Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara-France. That fight was awesome. Kai Kara-France clearly outstruck and won the first round. Moreno and won the first round. And Moreno adjusted absolutely beautifully. His coaches pointed out exactly what Kai Kara-France was doing, and Kara-France had no real adjustments to make after that. And you just saw he started to, like, his body language just changed completely. And what's crazy is that he arguably could have won the third round in terms of statistics, and the strikes landed were also really hard. But the way he was reacting to Moreno's strikes versus the way Moreno was reacting to his strikes landed just didn't. You just saw that the body language was bad in terms of, like, Kai Kara-France was like, like,
and he was getting damaged. He was,
and they were
he was tired.
They were both taking damage. That's the thing, is that
both of them. But somebody cut.
Correct.
Yeah.
He was letting damaging shots on Moreno, but Moreno was like, I don't give a shit. Let's go. And he kept moving forward. The first round, you saw that Kai Kara-France bust out that double jab and followed up with the right hand, and Moreno got hurt, tagged multiple times. Clearly lost the round, in my opinion.
The first one, yes.
On the stool in between rounds 1 and 2, you see Moreno's corner tell him exactly what to look for. Moreno's use of the high kick on the end of combinations as Kai France was backing up was beautiful. What a way to close the combination.
I expected France to adjust to that, but he never did.
Never adjusted to that. I was like, why don't you try? Like, you see it coming. You know that it's not like he's switching it up with a body kick, right?
No, he's not being conservative with it. Like, he's throwing it every time he finishes a combination.
Duck under it. Like, just duck. Like, I mean, like, duck. You know it's coming. Block and immediately throw a counter as Moreno's going to be offline. Step into it, so he's not going to have that kind of power. It's just, you could also tell that it's possible that he was a little afraid of engaging in the clinch with Moreno because of the grappling.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he really felt like he could not stay close to him. I just don't know. But very well done by Brandon Moreno.
Also, he was likely hurt at some point.
Oh, for sure. That's it. Punahele Soriano. I definitely butchered the first name, but what a knockout in the opening bout of the card. Gorgeous. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Let's talk about Frankie Edgar versus Chang Sung Jung for a brief moment of time. I think Jung's going to knock Frankie out.
Yeah, very possibly, especially if he was engaged in some kind of weight cut that then he then suspended.
Yeah, how
long did he have to prepare for this fight? Not
a lot. This is a pretty. I think he pulled. What's his name? Let's see. Ortega pulled from the bout. It doesn't say a date, but it wasn't that long ago. Probably less than a month ago.
No, he
was training, but he was also training to fight someone who's far, far less, far different in terms of, like, style and abilities than Chang Sung Jung and Corey Sandhagen. So, look, Frankie Edgar's 38, 39 maybe. The one thing that's interesting to me is that Chang Sung Jung has not faced a really high-level wrestler. Like, the highest level wrestler he's faced was Dennis Bermudez, probably, who's not really comparable to Frankie Edgar. But Frankie Edgar's offensive wrestling effectiveness has also clearly degraded over time as he's gotten older. Cub Swanson was able to completely shut it down. Max Holloway shut it down completely. Like, the last guy who and Brian Ortega, the last guy who he was able to bust it out was against Yair Rodriguez, who's not known for his takedown defense, especially then. And that was back in May of 2017. So can Frankie bust out a classic performance against someone who's as experienced as Chang Sung Jung? I just don't know.
We're going to see.
Yeah, definitely. Assuming this fight plays out on the feet, I really don't think that Frankie Edgar's rote striking combinations are going to work. I think that Jung is going to be able to time him with one of those massive counters. What do you think?
Yeah, Yeah, I think the same thing. The problem is that his reflexes are not there anymore. Like, not how they used to be. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but what set Edgar apart, aside from pace and the ability to absorb punishment, the ability to absorb punishment is not there. And, like, it was his reflexes, like the ability to fake, throw a double jab, and then either break the chain or complete it with an overhand or a straight or whatever he needed, or shoot for a takedown. Like, his entries, like Frankie, in a way, to me, was built on his entries, and I don't know that those are there anymore, and those cannot work. Like, in the way that I understood Frankie Edgar, is that his entire game was built on those entries that he could generate, right? He wasn't like a particularly gifted counter boxer or a wrestle boxer, but his entries made him difficult to deal with. And he doesn't have those, I think. So it's probably like a product of erosion. So even at his best, he can probably control Jung, but I don't know that he's there. So this fight is what is going to tell us how he is, oddly enough. Even if if this is like a very short notice fight, like, this fight is the one that tells us whether Frankie, quote unquote, still has it to at least be competitive, right?
Yeah.
But I fear he's not. I fear he doesn't have it anymore, and that if you like Frankie Edgar, it's going to be a rough night for you.
Yeah, I really think it is. I honestly think we're going to see him get knocked out again, like brutally too.
Well, maybe, or maybe he fucking gets like a Hail Mary of some sort. Like, I don't know. It could be like Korean Zombie has suffered some strange things in his. Like, there's no reason to assume that this would be the case, but for some reason, Korean Zombie, like, weird shit happens to him in fights.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Also, I do want to mention that we're getting to see Doo-Ho Choi back. He's fighting again.
So Korean Superboy.
Yep.
Yeah.
We also get the co-main event: Volkan Uzmir versus Alexander Rakic. Rakic is coming off of a big win, actually. Undefeated at light heavyweight in the UFC. Just knocked out Jimmy Manuwa, which cool, but also not that big a deal.
Yeah, well, it was late for Jimmy.
He's still kind of an unknown in terms of like his abilities. This is actually going to be a solid test for him. Uzdemir himself coming off of the Ilir Latifi win.
Latifi's fighting Derek Lewis, isn't he?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't
love that.
I don't get that.
Yeah, okay. What do you say to that?
What's your read on this fight? Do you think Rakic, his like there's no way that I could say that Rakic is the better striker of the two. Uzdemir,
we haven't seen enough.
Yeah, on the ground is where it's going to be brutal for if he gets Uzdemir down. That's not like his ground and pound is pretty good, like really good.
We'll see. I don't know what. Yeah, this fight has the makings of, if Uzdemir doesn't knock you out early, which he could do, then you get to see something. So it's whether Rakic's defense and footwork is there just enough to offset that, and maybe it's not, because like heavyweight, and you never know with these things. But I think Uzdemir takes it.
I'm going to bet on the youthful man. I think he's going to get him down and just fuck him up there.
Wait, how old is Uzdemir?
Well,
he's not that old.
He's not that old, but he's definitely not the prospect here.
Well, of course, but this is weird. The older you, like, the higher you get in weight, like he's just 30 years old, man. Yeah, that man going with Uzdemir.
I'm going with Rakic.
We'll see.
Hey, all right. I think that's it.
Yeah. This has been a very lethargic show.
We love you.
Yeah, this has been a very lethargic show. We're tired.
We are tired. Thank you all so much for joining us. Share, like, subscribe, all that good shit. Say bye, Alejandro.
Adios, que les vaya bien.
That was sexy.
Oh fuck yeah!